Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. My question to you is, did you survive this Bitcoin drop of almost 3% from top to bottom? It seems like a lot, but actually nowadays it's really not that much. However, a lot of altcoins did a belly flop there. So we're going to talk a little bit about what this looks like here for us. We'll touch on Bitcoin dominance and a few other key factors here. So stick around for some analysis. And obviously, if you want to become a better trader, just know CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link down below where you can join our esteemed colleagues here and learn how to become a better trader. It's a lot of fun. I got a trading university. I've also got trade alerts, which are newer features that people are really appreciating. And then, of course, premium signals here too. A nice little Caspa long there, 50% to break the all-time high, and the AVAX short yesterday, 22%. We didn't take any trades going to the FOMC, just so you know. So if you're part of my community, like, what the hell? Why didn't we catch this awesome drop? Truth is, I've been leaning towards shorts for a while, and we were hopefully going to get a little bit of a fake pump before taking the short. That didn't happen. The price just continued lower and didn't look back. So unlike previous Fed meetings, we didn't get that false positive. We just got an instant drop. So it's all well and good because we got plenty of liquidation left to the downside. I still think we're going to continue lower. But at this point here, let's talk about the details of where we're at. So we got obviously a lot more liquidation on the downside. This is basically just longs essentially opening here in the recent past. You see any of these lines kind of extending out here, 63,000. All these levels here are essentially the areas in which you can see the price action wanting to pull back to. So again, it's not a guarantee, but there's a lot more liquidation lower than there is upper. And as you can see here, this upper region of liquidation at 70,000 is dissipating. It implies people are actually securing profit. Thank God, it's about time. Because again, that's going to exist there for almost forever until it's swept, but it's going to get less and less over time as the price goes lower, just because there's the shorts are starting to be like, okay, cool, I'm happy with this price point, right? Anyways, having said that, 60,000, 62,000, roughly 63,000, we got kind of a range there. Not a lot in the 64K mark, minus the more late shorts, late longs rather. Having said that, quickly to look here at Bitcoin dominance, it is pulling back, altcoins are receding. And if Bitcoin pulls back and Bitcoin dominance goes down, generally we see altcoins pull back with it. So this is kind of a standard scenario. But again, as long as we're over that 50 some odd, basically 55% range, we're not going to experience altcoins, we're not going to see anything magnificent from altcoins. Maybe some outliers, but not as a group. Alt season, I'm sorry, it's not here, folks. Okay. My speculation, though, just thinking outside the box here, I would say that we are probably more likely to see something along those lines once we have a new candidacy here in the United States. That changes things a lot. Generally, the first 2 years of a new president will provide us with some bullish qualities in the market. And I'd be really surprised we don't see anything really positive here, especially if things work out the way they're looking with President Trump getting reinaugurated. That would be really good for crypto, okay, just in general. Okay, so let's look at the daily time frame, work our way down. Quickly to note here, we're still above all moving averages, but we wicked all the way down to that 100-day SMA. I talked about that being an important support range. Okay, and again, that's the wicks all the way down there. Currently, the 0.786 Fibble at 64,900 is holding. It's very tentative for the moment. And truth is, I misspoke. The 20-day SMA is also tentatively being broken, basically implying that we've broken this descending trend line. You can see it pretty clear as day, that we're more likely to see the price go sideways or down from here than to instantly recover. Again, it's not like it's, I know it kind of seems weird and crazy that a trend line is going to provide that, but for the most part, the reason why that's relevant is because we're establishing a lower low, lower than the previous low, okay? And that's generally not a good sign, especially a candlestick closure. Because you see this previous one, we wicked all the way down, but we corrected ourselves. This candle wick is looking pretty long, or sorry, the candlestick rather, and it's not a large wick, so we're going to be closing close to the bottom of where we actually came down to, and that's generally not favorable. We're also tentatively testing 50 on the RSI. This is like probably our last line of defense here. If we lose 50 on the RSI, I think 63,500 is a very likely next target. I welcome this, of course. Me personally, I love seeing low 60s, anything in the $50,000 range, because I can add to my spot bag. That's just me personally again, but that's just kind of how I am. Anyways, we can see the MACD is diverging officially, and today's candlestick hasn't even closed yet. So there's a solid consideration for the price action shifting gears. Keep in mind we've had 3 pretty significant red days, and if you can see here, generally there's going to be a fourth green day, right? So when you see three greens or 4 reds, whatever the case, you're usually going to see it turn around. Okay, so we had 3 strong green days here, price reverse itself. 3 strong red days, price reverse itself. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bit of a relief rally tomorrow. It doesn't have to be a massive green candle, but it'll probably be some kind of closure at 66,000 or lower. Okay, but again, probably higher than today is my speculation. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there. Let's go ahead and double check the 4-hour time frame and see where we're at. Last thing we want to kind of look at here when we spoke last is the fact that we have only one moving average below the price action, implying that a lot of resistance at that 66,800 mark. 66.8 was that 0.5 fib level I identified earlier as a strong resistance. Price held, price is pulled back now. Having said all that, 63,500 is the likely next target, and we got the 200-day SMA trailing behind. So if the 200 is underneath that, it does imply we have some support, but it also implies that it could be, it could act like a magnet too, and that does happen a lot. We are, however, getting close to 50. Sorry, correction, we lost 50. Close to 30 on the RSI, and money flow index being closer to 20. Usually, when you see this, you see some type of a bounce. Okay, so if you look at the chart here last time, we saw a pretty significant rally. I'm not speculating we're going to see that exactly, but I am telling you, though, that generally 30 on the RSI in the 4-hour with 20 on the money flow index in the 4-hour, it usually provides us with some positive stuff. So I'm speculating we're going to see a bit of a recovery here, but it may not be magnificent. It may actually be nothing at all, because this is a lot more selling pressure now than prior to or leading into that event. So again, just some things to kind of, some food for thought, so to speak. But there's no indication here that you want to take a long with confidence. So if I took that long, it'd be just like I'd be crossing my fingers, crossing my eyes. I'd probably look like an idiot. I'd probably feel like one too, because I'd be doing something that's not right. So kind of like when you are doing something, or you're considering doing something unethical, and you're like, wait, this feels wrong. This feels wrong. I shouldn't do it. That's kind of where it's at, right? That's me personally. Again, I got a radar for these kind of things after being in the industry for so long, getting bit by stupid mistakes. Okay, let me make those mistakes for you, right? So that's kind of the whole point of why I tell you these things, so you don't have to do that. It's again a lot of just past experience, if you will. Okay, last but not least, hourly time frame. We're going to confirm here. Now the cloud is averaging itself at that 0.618 fib level, the more micro fib or the shorter term fib lines for the more recent ascending trend. Hypothetically, we see 66,000 again, it'd be a solid consideration for a short. Every time I say this, it's funny because when the price is pulling back right here, it's like, okay, we're going to short at 68.5. Price comes up to 68,100 and continues down lower. Over here, I keep saying that I was going to short at about 67,000. Price comes up to 66.8 while I'm sleeping. When I wake up, it dumps. Okay, so it's just this is how it works, folks. And I'm only saying that because you need to recognize that the best traders, any trader, for the most part, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities, and it's okay. That's all right. We'll find some new ones, but at this point, try not to force a trade. Don't force a long just because it's a dip. And at this point, wait for the better confirming factors. So hypothetically, 65,800 seems like a very nice short opportunity at this point because we have a lot of resistance there based on local volume, but also the cloud kind of hanging out there, and we got that golden pocket, which becomes a resistance range if it's not successful as a support, which we saw it worked pretty well as a support, but then enter FOMC, right, and the price drops from there. Okay, now I didn't actually watch the speech because I was out taking my dog to the vet, but when that occurred, there's a strong likelihood that he could have said a lot of dovish type of statements, and it could have led to a lot of concern. Another thing too, as well, as traditional markets did jump up and Bitcoin dropped. There's a common correlation there. A lot of times they'll inversely pair. Either way you look at it, we're here now. We're at 65,000 roughly. So my speculation is that a short from 65.8 to these lower 63.5 seems like an appropriate consideration at this time. Do you want to jump into a short just yet? Not really. I don't like to try to short the bottom. We don't know if the bottom is in. Truth is, we still have some more room for downside, so I don't think so. But the key takeaway here is that we got to see some support in this range here. If we don't, then I think we're going to maybe see that CME gap filled soon. Okay. Speaking of which, we got this guy filled here, which is nice. So that's a positive sign there. Again, if you're not familiar, that's the CME gap from that 65.8. Upwards of 66.4, I discussed previously being an important factor. If you want to kind of follow this, by the way, if you're part of my Discord, we do have a live charts section where you can go ahead and follow the charts. I've got my CME gap here right there for you if you're kind of curious about where they're at. Okay. I'll need to update that, of course, but that is kind of what we're looking at there. Long story short, Bitcoin is not a coin you want to trade to the upside right now. You're going to find more success shorting. I wouldn't say shorting at this exact level is ideal. Wait for it to come up to the local low, and then we'll see what happens at that point. Okay. Again, we got a pretty strong resistance now that we've lost that pretty strong support, right? Bunny ears, right? Okay, folks, thanks again so much for watching. Oh, I almost forgot this. This is extremely important. Make sure you check out Bitunix. They got an awesome deposit bonus going on right now. No KYC or VPN. If you've already used my link to register, you're good. Just make sure you fund your account sometime this month to get those bonus. If you haven't, use my link to register down below, and you'll be eligible for that automatically. Cool. All right, folks, thanks again so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.